Prime Minister Tareq Rahman arrives in Beijing from Dalian of China, accorded red carpet welcome with static guard of honor. Prime Minister joins plenary session of World Economic Forum in Dalian city of China as invited guest. Tareq Rahman meets both Prime Minister of Kazakhstan. Both premiers agree on establishing permanent diplomatic missions in Dhaka and Astana to strengthen bilateral ties. The examination laws amended to make them consistent, no leniency on cheating and question leaks, says Education Minister. Government planning to produce sugar from sugar beets instead of sugar cane and convert unprofitable sugar mills into modern industrial parks, says Industry Minister. Memorandum of Understanding has nothing regarding Iran's ballistic missile program, says Tehran and Islamabad working group. Discussions ongoing for a permanent peace agreement. And in World Cup football, Scotland will face Brazil tomorrow at 4 a.m. Bangladesh television to broadcast the match live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to news at 10 p.m. on BTV News. I'm Urbi Islam with you tonight. You just heard the headlines. Now, moving on to the details. A red carpet was rolled out as Prime Minister Tareq Rahman arrived in Beijing from Dalian by bullet train after participating at the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Dalian city of China. He, accompanied by his spouse, Dr. Zubaida Rahman, reached Beijing Chaoyang railway station at 5:35 p.m. local time today. Ms. Shan Meijun, Minister and Secretary of Communist Party of China Committee of the General Administration of Customs of China, received Tareq Rahman at the railway station. Tiny Tots presented bouquets to the Prime Minister and his spouse. The Premier was also accorded with a static guard of honor and a ceremonial welcome. From Chaoyang railway station, the Prime Minister and member of his entourage was taken to Diaoyao Tai State Guest House in a ceremonial motorcade. Earlier, Tareq Rahman left for Beijing by high-speed bullet train from Dalian North Railway Station. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Tareq Rahman attended the plenary session of the World Economic Forum in Dalian. The meeting was held at the Dalian International Conference Center. President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Alois Zwingli, delivered the opening speech at the session. Apart from Tareq Rahman, Chinese Premier Li Qiang, South Korean Prime Minister Kim Min-seok, Mongolian Prime Minister Niam Osar Usrail, Guinean Prime Minister Amadeo Kuriba, Montenegrin Prime Minister Miloslav Spazic and Kazakh's Prime Minister Uljas Bektanov also joined the session. On the sidelines of the session, Prime Minister Tareq Rahman held discussions with several heads of government and senior leaders from different countries on strengthening bilateral relations and advancing issues of mutual interest. The interactions focused on enhancing cooperation in areas including trade, investment, economic development, and regional connectivity. More than 17,000 representatives from over 90 countries and regions, including leaders from government, business, academia, and media, took part in the event. During a break in the session, the participating world leaders took part in an official photo session. Prime Minister Tareq Rahman and his Kazakh counterpart Uljas Bektanov has discussed ways to strengthen bilateral relations and agreed on the need to establish permanent diplomatic missions in each other's capitals to boost cooperation between the two countries. The discussion took place during a courtesy meeting held on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting of the new champions, also known as the Summer Davos Forum, in the Chinese port city of Dalian today. During the meeting, Prime Minister Tareq Rahman stressed the importance of deepening Bangladesh relations with Kazakhstan and enhancing cooperation in a wide range of areas. Tariq Rahman also underscored the need for regular interactions between government officials, business leaders and people of the two countries to strengthen mutual understanding and explore new avenues of partnership. Kazakh Prime Minister Oljas Bektanov expressed optimism about the prospects for greater engagement between Bangladesh and Kazakhstan, particularly in trade and investment. The two leaders discussed the potential for cooperation in several sectors, including the recruitment of skilled Bangladeshi workers, renewable energy, digital infrastructure, technology, agribusiness and food processing industries. They also exchanged views on expanding economic cooperation and exploring new areas of investments and commercial partnership between the two countries. During the meeting, the issue of water diplomacy also came up for discussion. The Kazakh Prime Minister sought Bangladesh support for Kazakhstan's proposal to establish a specialized United Nations agency of water diplomacy. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman expressed Bangladesh's support for the initiative and said greater international cooperation is needed to address growing water-related challenges around the world. The meeting reflected the shared interest of both countries in expanding bilateral engagement and strengthening cooperation in areas of mutual benefit. Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman, Prime Minister's advisor on foreign affairs Humayun Kabir and Additional Press Secretary Atikur Rahman Rumon were present during the meeting. The government has set a target of reducing inflation to 7.5% and raising economic growth to 6.5% in the next fiscal year 2026 to 27. Finance Minister Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chaudhry disclosed the information in response to a written tabled question in the Parliament today. The Finance Minister said the government has identified controlling commodity prices, protecting the purchasing power of ordinary people and ensuring balanced regional development as key priorities of the fiscal year 2026 to 27 budget. He said initiatives have been undertaken to implement the Tista Master Plan aimed at improving the living standards of people in the region. Responding to another question, the Finance Minister said around 30 banks affected by irregularities and corruption have undertaken initiatives to recover defaulted loan funds that were allegedly laundered abroad. He said special fairs and awareness campaigns are being arranged through the National Pensions Authority to popularize the universal pension scheme at the grassroots level. Earlier, the House resumed its sitting with Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed in the chair. Later, general discussion on the national budget of 2026 to 27 fiscal year was held in the Parliament. Lawmakers from Treasury Bench and opposition took part in the discussion. The House is adjourned till 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. South Korean ambassador to Bangladesh Kim Ji-jun called on Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed Bir Bikram at his office in Dhaka today. During the call-on, the speaker said that economic and strategic relations between Bangladesh and South Korea have expanded in the last 2 decades. He said that parliamentary diplomacy of the two countries is playing an important role in regards to trade and commerce, investment, labor market, technology and infrastructural development between Bangladesh and South Korea. At this time, the South Korean envoy has requested for continuing cooperation to those Korean companies, including Samsung, operating business in Bangladesh. The ambassador sought Bangladesh cooperation in implementing the National Equipment Identity Register near. Concerned high officials, including Secretary of Parliament, Secretariat Barrister Mohammad Gholam Sarwar Bhuiya, were present during the call-on. Education Minister Dr. A.N.M. Ehsanul Haq Milan has said that those who create obstacles to nation building are enemies of the country. He made the remarks today at an view exchange meeting with Centre Secretaries under the Dhaka and Mymensingh Boards of Intermediate and Secondary Education. The Madrasa Education Board and the Technical Education Board aimed at ensuring the HEC and equivalent examinations are conducted in a fair, cheating-free and quality environment. The Education Minister said that the previous examination law had been amended in Parliament to make it compatible with present-day realities. He stressed that there would be no leniency regarding cheating or question paper leaks. He further said that everyone must perform their responsibility facilities with humanitarian values in order to advance education. The meeting was held at the Shoaib President Zia Rahman Auditorium of Ajimpur Girls School and College in the capital. It was chaired by Professor Syed Akhtar Zaman, Chairman of the Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education, Dhaka. Among others, Member of Parliament Hamid Rahman and other concerned individuals also spoke at the event. An agreement worth Taka 137 crore was signed today between the Australian government and the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF to improve the living standards of Rohingya and host communities in Bangladesh. The agreement was signed at the conference room of the Ministry of the Home Affairs at the Bangladesh Secretariat in the presence of Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed. Australian High Commissioner to Bangladesh Susan Raleigh and UNICEF representative to Bangladesh Rana Flores signed the agreement on behalf of their respective sides. Senior Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs Monjur Morshed Chaudhry, along with high-ranking officials from the Home Ministry, the Australian High Commission and UNICEF Bangladesh were also present at the signing ceremony. Expressing heartfelt gratitude to the Australian government for its cooperation, Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed hoped that such assistance from the international community, including Australia, could continue until the voluntary, safe, dignified and sustainable repatriation of the Rohingya to Myanmar is achieved. Industries, Commerce, Textiles and Jute Minister Khandokar Abdul Muqtadir said that the government's goal is to transform Bangladesh into a more investment-friendly, competitive and employment-oriented economy. The minister made the remarks while addressing a workshop titled National Budget 2026-27 Expectations and Achievements of the SME Sector as a chief guest in the capital today. The event was organized by the Economic Reporters Forum ERF and chaired by its president Daulat Akhtar Mala. Among others, National Board of Revenue member Barrister Mutasim Billah Faruqi and SME Foundation Managing Director Anwar Hussain Chaudhry attended the workshop as special guests. Industries Minister said the government is implementing a range of initiatives including the One Village, One Product program, creation of a national designers pool, updating SME cluster mapping, youth entrepreneurship development, startup support, mentorship program, skills development and establishment of an entrepreneur database. State Minister for Health Dr. M.A. Mohit said the government is working relentlessly to improve the health sector and allocated the highest budget in history for the sector. He said the government has taken various initiatives to improve women's healthcare, ensure healthcare services for rural people and deliver human healthcare services to people's doorsteps. Dr. M.A. Mohit made the remarks today at a program at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center where the final results of the Improving Mr. Services in Dhaka project were presented. Health, Education and Family Welfare Division Secretary Muhammad Kamur Zaman Chaudhry, among others, was present at the meeting. Project officials said the initiative played an important role in increasing access to the safe and quality MR services, raising public awareness and improving reproductive healthcare services. BNP Legal Affairs Secretary Barrister Bodruddin Badul has described the resignation of 18 Jamaat allied deputy and assistant attorneys general as a political stunt. He made the remarks today while reacting to the issue in front of the annex building of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. The BNP Legal Affairs Secretary said that it has always been the practice that when a government changes, law officers holding positions such as Attorney General, Additional Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General and Assistant Attorney General voluntarily resign from their posts. According to him, this is the established norm. Barrister Bodruddin Badal said that the officials who resigned had served as law officers under the current government for the past 4 months. During that period, they received salaries, enjoyed official benefits and used their respective titles and positions. He added that it appeared that they had only recently felt the need to resign or anticipated being removed from their positions and therefore brought forward certain political issues which he described as highly undesirable. Addressing the Attorney General, the BNP Legal Affairs Secretary questioned whether the Jamaat-aligned law officers who worked over the past 4 months had actually worked on behalf of the government or had instead engaged in acts of sabotage against it. He called for a thorough review of all the case files that had been under their responsibility during the past 4 months. Now, international news.